Angela started. Okay, hello everyone, and welcome to Twisted Talk. Today I am joined by the winner of season two, runner-up of Hero vs. Villains, and now finally a Twisted champion, Sam. How are you, Sam?
Hey there, guys. How's it going? I'm Sam. Been around Twist Fiverr since the beginning. Played almost all of their spin offs. Whether I did well or not, that is for some to tell.
I mean, true. I feel like we're probably two of the oldest people, not by age, but like time that we spent in the server.
Oh, most definitely. I mean, I've been in since day, I think I actually might have joined before season one started, and then I left and came back for season two.
I know I got invited like a week before it started because Face was like, "Oh, you should play," because I just played with them. And I was like, "Sure," um, but
Yeah,
I
I
honestly I think it's possible that you joined earlier and then I just
left
played
and came back.
earlier.
Yeah.
Mhm. But how are
I
you doing
mean,
today?
I'm doing pretty well. I've got a lot of stuff planned. I guess it's a busy weekend, but I'm doing pretty well. Happy to be here. Been
I
a
mean,
long time
we're
in the
gonna be
making.
recording a lot, so
Yeah.
But yeah, for the people who don't know Sam, which would be surprising if you're a person interested in most recent years or like
And
recent
watching
months,
Twisted Talk. That
um,
would be
I
impressive.
think you're like tied for most spin-offs played due to Twisted Challenge.
Maybe.
um,
I mean, I know I played a speed and I know I've played a lot of Twisted Challenge.
mhm. You've not done like more and stuff though. That's gonna be for in the future.
Yeah. We'll have to
But
see me around, I guess. We'll see what happens.
But one of the most fun facts, besides Courtney, Sam is the only person to win two spin-offs, or like to win a spin-off and a main season. So
Yeah. It's
something
funny.
definitely to think about.
Yeah, it's just extra funny because I mean, in Heroes versus Villains, I was sitting right next to Courtney, got runner up to her, so we're pretty connected in that path.
Exactly. Like now we need Ainsley to win and then get into
Yeah, right.
so
Maybe we can
um
just get the entire Heroes versus Villain cast to win everything.
honestly, we should just do Hero versus Villains 2.0.
It would
Like
go so crazy.
the cast would be good.
It
Like
really would.
it
I
would
mean,
be
we.
pure chaos.
Oh God. Not that Heroes versus Villains wasn't already pure chaos. We just need to add on to it.
I mean, the thing is, people would be like, "Oh my God, target Sam," and then half of us would be like, "Nah, we'll do it later," and then you get to final two again.
See, I mean, God, we'll talk about it later, but that was just such a weird season, like metagaming wise, because most people knew each other. That was not like a season where all of us were new to each other. But everything
Half of us
happened
had
so
played All Stars and
confusingly.
stuff, so
All Star, yeah, that was like a big portion of us.
but before we get into Hero versus Villains, let's get into where it all began, the season
All
one.
right. Season,
So
yeah,
you played in season two, Trust, the season
I
after mine,
did.
and you won, but it
Yeah.
also was kind of a rocky road.
Well, it depends on how you look at it. At times in the season, I thought, holy shit, I'm dead lost. There's no way I'm winning this game. And there were times where I'm like, nobody can vote me out. This is the funniest game I've ever played.
I mean, you did get voted out at the end,
I
and then
did.
went back in with Spec. So, like, before that, what was kind of your like strategy coming into the season, if you remember that?
I mean, so coming into the season, I was playing a lot of speeds at the time. And so I had a lot of, my starting tribe, I had just two people who I had played with, like, the day before. And so I was pretty confident that I was going to be safe for a while. But a lot of the people, I had no idea who they were, which was very new for me in an org. Like, my first org was the only org where I really know nobody going in. And then this org, I only knew three people. So I was nervous, to say the least. And so I spent a lot of my time trying to avoid talking to people and just hoping that my allies would be like, hey, he's only with us. We're good. And then shit started to go south, and I actually had to talk to people.
Yeah, I mean, I remember when I did season one, this was like my sixth org or something like that. But me saying sixth org, that's like I did,
Baby numbers.
yeah, and also I did 2 seasons of Shade Viper in that. So like technically like fourth-ish. And
Yeah.
even then, I was barely talking to people because half of the cast was inactive.
Well,
Um,
yeah, that was like a early season mainstay. If people were talking
yeah,
to you, you were the best person there.
like the first couple of seasons of Twisted, they were not necessarily known for the social game.
That is more true than you could ever put into words.
I mean, it's funny, but also, dang it, you know?
Yeah, I mean, even in season 2, there were like people who I still know to this day that I consider great friends. Like one of my main rivals in that season, Phoenix, just were like I love them to death. And then there's people like Nahu in that season, where if I play a season with them, I'm fighting with them at one point or another.
I mean, I played with Phoenix on season one, obviously, but they got voted out immediately. And then we'll talk about it later, but they also returned in All Stars, and then we played again with Phoenix. So,
Yeah.
like,
Mm-hmm.
there's definitely a lot of people from those early seasons that we have continuously played again afterwards.
I
Or that
think
I played
actually
again
that
with.
Nahu's been in every season I played in, thinking about it.
Yes. Yeah, because he
And
also
all
did All
three
Stars.
times. Pretty sure I voted him out all 3 times.
Um, I think so, because on All Stars he got voted out when I wasn't there, and then I voted him out as well in Hero versus Villains. And I
Yeah.
think because the villains all voted together to get heroes out.
Yeah, because I mean, we voted together because I was like, Nahu cannot stay. I cannot play this game with this guy here. And so the
Mm.
villains were like, okay, cool. And then who else did we get out there? Cat?
Yeah, because it tied between Brandon and Kat, and
Yeah.
then we all just like, let's vote Kat out because we'll win it
Yep.
first of all. And like Brandon was not a threat at that point.
Oh, Brendan. What a
But
silly
we
guy.
before we go there, let's finish season two.
Oh,
Because you
yes,
get
yes, yes.
out
Yes,
in the
season 2.
merge, and then win back
Yeah.
immediately.
Yeah, so the twist there was that you could get like you could throw yourself down to redemption, and if you won, you got an advantage and nobody else returned. And in that time in my org career, I was by far the best at competitions of anyone in Twisted. Like I would absolutely run that thing. And so I went, okay, sounds like a great plan. Went down, won, and got a super idol for it. I wasn't complaining.
Yeah, no, that's definitely a good reason.
Yeah, right? Free
I mean,
super
you
idol?
take that back then, you were like one of the gods of of comps and stuff. Yet you literally tie your record set in season two in Hero versus Villains. You still are. Like that fact has
Hey,
not changed.
the competition has grown harder. Like in season 2, there were competitions I would win by like literal like I think I won one by an hour.
Oh,
It
Jesus Christ.
the gap was bigger.
Well, that is true. It's definitely closer now.
Yeah.
But
But
you do
then
you make it to final travel with
yeah, I mean,
also returned?
yeah, merge was just I won the triple tribal, and so I just eliminated the entire alliance against me, threw myself back into redemption, came back, got another idol for fun, and just swept my way to the final tribal. Um, I should have won that season unanimously. I'm still a little salty about that.
Were you like 100% certain that you were gonna win, or did you have like
Oh, I
some
was winning.
shit? Okay.
Like the jury had basically told me, "Yeah, you're winning this game." And so I was hoping it would be unanimous. And then you know who the fuck didn't vote for me, V?
Who?
Nahu.
Ha. I
This
mean,
thorn in my side.
it is good karma, to be honest.
It really was.
Like,
Like,
if you look at the entire history now, it is good karma. That's the only reason
it's
that you
so
have.
funny. He's just been that one person in every season who's just been like stabbing me, and I just have to deal with it.
But you do win. You're the second winner. And despite me
Woo!
spectating, I quickly learned who you were on All Stars. Because literally from day one, everyone was like, oh my God, Sam is here. He's a threat. He has to go.
Oh, Jesus. Yeah,
Literally.
I had quite a name for myself at that time. I still do, but like in that period was where I had won like what, 5 speeds back to back to back to back to back.
You had definitely been like, not necessarily like a household name, but like a very big
Yeah.
name in the community. Like
And so,
besides in Austin or something, even then you
oh
hadn't
God.
had his reputation yet. So like,
Yeah. And so, I mean, I think my start in the season is probably the funniest part for me because I came in and my tribe, like, it wasn't great. I had like what? Bale, who I knew, Becca and Anubis and Red and who else was just completely new to me?
uh,
Uh that might have been
Bell,
it.
Rubis, Red, Nahu.
I had Nahu on my tribe. I remember
At
that.
what point, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I think I got saved in the first tribal council we went to because it was like I think I got voted there and I was
Uh,
just terrified.
you didn't. It was like basically unanimously Becca, and then Becca didn't vote because they abstained, and then
Yes. Well, I
you
don't know if I voted either there.
you couldn't.
Yeah, so funny fact about my All-Stars game, I cast what? Maybe one vote?
You casted three.
3? Good
Red
for
for
me.
Dexter and for Emmy.
I mean, I remember I spun the twist of or I guess one of the twists of All-Stars was that there was a wheel and you got to spin it, and if you spin it too many times, you lost a vote.
Yeah, because of
And so
the penalties and points and stuff.
yeah, there were penalties. And so me, thinking I was absolutely hilarious, spun the wheel 20 times, I believe it was, and just lost all of my votes for pre-merge.
Yeah, I'm literally looking at you. First time that you vote is literally because it's
The
a
world
tie,
merge.
and you would be the only other person that would
Oh,
be able to vote besides Nahu. Because it literally is a 1-1 tie where everyone else did not vote or abstained.
oh, I think so. That was the tribal where Phoenix idled me, I believe.
Uh, Let me see. Fine. I don't
Because I
think so.
remember,
At least it's not on the wiki, but
yeah,
um, there was
or
a
it might have been
tie
the
between
Anubis tribal.
Phoenix and Red, and so
Yeah.
you and Nahu were the only people who could vote despite having lost your vote.
Hmm.
Um, and then you voted as Red.
Yeah, I wasn't letting Nahu vote out Phoenix. Phoenix and I developed a great relationship after season 2. And so it was like, this is not happening, buddy. We're either going to Rocks or you're sending out Red.
Hmm. Which I mean, rocks. It would not be surprising if that happened with this season.
It really would not. It was
Craziest
very
thing.
volatile.
I mean, you had like the whole double tribal thing where half of the
Jesus.
cast just did not vote or could not vote.
Yep.
The half had 20,000 votes.
Wasn't that the it was like Nahu and Ariana went home and I got like 3 votes and I was like shitting my pants.
Yeah, because with what happened on my world, Bolivia
Yeah.
goes due to multiple idols getting played, and then it's a 5-4 vote between myself and Notch, and somehow I survive.
Jesus. That
Because
was
like
just
Tiger and Meredith flipped on me. No, Meredith more so flipped on me. But like everyone else voted me. Notch for some reason had flipped on me, but I was able to flip the other people back to my side, so it was a 5-4, and somehow I stayed in.
Jesus. I mean, that was a season where I was really like confused. I was just confused.
I mean, same. I think everyone was.
Yeah.
Like, the season was so fluid due to all the advantages, all the twists, all
There
the votes.
there
Like,
were way too many advantages for that season. Like that needed to not happen.
I mean, also 33 people is just simply too much.
Oh my god. It was I mean, I'm glad he split us into worlds because
Same, it still took so long.
it was such a long season.
Like, I think that literally was my entire summer because I made
Yeah,
it very deep. So, like, it was
I
like
would
2 episodes away from finale. So,
yeah, somebody stopped me from getting that deep into the
yeah,
game.
let's get into that.
Let's get right into that, V.
So, we merge,
Yeah.
and Jay is gone in the Greed tribal. Makes it
Uh-huh.
very simple. And then we have the famous triple tribal.
Triple
Um,
tribal.
and James went in one, very easy
Mhm.
vote. Dom went
Yep.
into the other, also very
Yep.
easy vote. And then you
We
had ours.
we had our tribal V. And so it was me, you, Austin,
Taco.
Taco,
And
and
oh my, forgot who.
was it Phoenix?
Let me see. Yes, yes.
Yeah.
And Phoenix did Taco. Austin, myself, and
Me. Hold on. Yeah.
no,
Phoenix, Taco.
you voted me, and then
Yeah.
Taco voted
No, I
me.
didn't
No, wait,
vote.
no, you
I
didn't
had no
vote.
vote.
Taco votes
Yeah.
me. Then Austin,
Phoenix voted Taco.
yeah, and Austin had an extra vote and used it on you, so it was a 3-1 vote.
Yeah.
I mean,
So,
you would have probably made it to FTC had I not. So
oh, I was really well positioned other than the fact I could not vote.
yeah,
Like, I was absolutely chilling. I had JC, Caden, Phoenix. I was swimming. I had Meredith, Lanzi, all my friends. And
you
so
literally had
I
me
was,
for that. So
yeah, I was in that triple tribal, and there was Taco, and Taco was pissing everybody off. I mean,
mm,
like, he was like throwing out, I'm gonna vote you, I have an idol, you can't get me, na 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 boo boo, shit like that. And so I was talking with you, and we hadn't like talked that much prior, right?
we talked, but not we like I knew you had my back in a way, and I had your back in a way, but it wasn't like ride or die, super tight allies or anything.
Yeah.
Not even a
Yeah. And
mutual
so
thing of like we won't target each other just yet.
yeah, I think yeah, that's about the best way to put it. But then there was Austin. And Austin and I didn't get along great.
Mm, I know that. I
Still
remember that.
don't, but it was I think I had talked to you and I'm just like, listen, I can't vote, but we should just get Taco here, right? Because he's gonna vote you. He voted you.
He did.
He did. And I was like, I'm chill with you. You're chill with me. Let's just get him out of here and let's swim along. Move fine. And then the votes start getting read. One vote V, one vote Taco. And I'm like, see, perfect. One vote Sam, two
Yeah.
votes Sam. And I'm like, mother of God. Oh no.
That round was really just me being like, can I pull this off?
Yeah, it was you testing the water, which like in retrospect was a great thing for you to do. It like
Mhm.
that you had a solid ally in Austin who was willing to pull shit off with you.
I mean,
And
I
it just
think I will forever say Austin and I not getting duo of the season in that season is
was
one of the
raw.
biggest advantage robberies that anyone has ever received. Because Kaden and
Absolutely.
Phoenix literally target each other the entire season up until final
Yeah,
6, where I told them work together or you will lose.
pretty much. And I
Well,
mean, they
otherwise,
finally worked
Austin and I
together.
ran the game. So, like,
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, when I did that move, I mean, did I want you necessarily gone?
No, I
No.
don't think so. No.
But I also knew you were in such a good position, and I knew that I'd be able to do it, and Taco would be gone soon anyways,
Yeah, Taco
because no one
Taco
liked
was not
Taco.
making the end.
Yeah, like no one really liked Taco or trusted Taco at that point. Um, and so I get you out,
Yeah.
and we have the redemption scare not long after, if
God,
I'm
I was
correct.
so. Oh, if I had redemption there, be you would have never heard the end of it.
Oh, had you gotten back in, I was fucked.
Yeah, well, I think I do get back in because the redemption would have been like what, J. James Dom Meredith or something like that.
Yeah, I mean Meredith gets voted back in quotations, but only gets to vote and then is out again.
Yeah,
But all of us were so scared that someone would actually get back in. And I
that
think
would
that's why people voted Meredith because they were like, "Oh, Meredith can easily just go." Um,
no, it would have been there would have been hell to pay with like anyone returning. I'm glad he didn't do a redemption there because the season just would have been completely screwed after that.
I mean, had you gotten back in, I think I would not be able to pull off getting Lanzi and Taco at the double. Like
Yeah,
I
I
would,
I don't think you get
yeah,
Lansy out. I think
I
Taco
would
goes.
Taco would 100% go, but I feel like probably Plaus goes instead.
I think Klaus
Um,
goes. Yeah.
because Plaus got 5 and Phoenix got 4, and Caden had really pushed for Phoenix to get votes, but you wouldn't have wanted that to
I
happen.
would not
Don't
have
want
let
that
that
to
slide.
happen. So I think it probably would have been Plaus and
Taco.
Taco, where my position is even more fucked because you have Lancy who knows that I voted them.
Yeah. And then I have Lansy and Phoenix and JC and Caden. And I just
And
say,
Kate, yes,
hey,
I would be fucked.
yeah, this V guy, he just blindsided me.
Like the
You want to
only way
get him?
I survive that is if Austin idols me, and he almost did at Final Seven. So like it is a
Yeah.
possibility, but even then, Final Six is immediately after without an immunity challenge.
Well, so honestly, I think that realistically, Austin should have idled you at 7.
Oh, same. Because otherwise, that way he makes it to Final Three, I think. Because at Final
Yeah.
Six, it would be me, him, and JC would have no other option than to flip back.
Well, yeah,
Because
because you just vote out Plows.
yeah, we voted out
Caden
Plows, and
goes home.
Snowy had flipped back to me in that vote. So I would
Yeah.
have Snowy as well. So literally, if Austin idols me that round, it's probably Austin, myself, and Phoenix Final Three, or something like that.
Yeah. Either that or you and Snowy, which you beat
No,
Snowy.
yeah, yeah. I beat everyone at Final Seven, I think, if I
Yeah.
remember correctly, by like jury management and just gameplay.
Hmm.
Because Austin had pissed too many people off, so I beat Austin despite being in his duo.
Yeah. And so I think if you make the final 3 with you and Austin, it's just whoever goes there takes third, and whoever makes it wins.
Yeah, and literally the only reason it became a Final Two was because they were like Austin was pissed off.
Yeah,
That
and so he made it a final 2.
so it probably would have been a Final Three still, because I don't think JC would have made it a Final Three, a
Oh,
Final Two.
never. No, not even a chance. I mean,
And
it was the real Viver twist, right? And so,
yeah, it was like deciding if you chose, like
yep.
if, and JC respects the game too much, I think, to be better toward like that.
I think Crimson wanted it to become a Final 3 too, because in our seasons of Real Viver, which is like the reason he started Twist Viver, both times we made it a Final 2, and both times it ended up in Eddie winning and one of us getting second.
My God.
In the first season, to be fair, it was completely because Eddie and I were just shitting around and having fun. And so I think we did the final 3 competition in the same room as each other, just like across, like one of us on one wall, the other on the other.
I mean, that's funny.
It was super funny. And then, yeah, in Real Viver All Stars, Crimson just took Eddie to the end because he didn't really know how to play yet, which was cute. I'm not gonna lie. I love Crimson for that,
I
and it
mean,
got him hooked into Twist Fiber. So I'll take it,
and then Eddie wins Twist Fiver season 1.
and I win Twist Fiber season 2. I don't think he was expecting that.
I mean, season 1, I feel like the only competition at that point would probably have been myself, and I'm not at like top tier V at this point either.
No.
Eddie, Uni, and Jack. Like I feel like those are
Yeah.
the only people who really had like a grasp on the game. 'Cause, like, sure,
Yep.
Aaron had some control, Becca had some control, but we are like the main like fourth, like people on the forefront of things.
Yeah.
Um, but I mean, Eddie deserves the win, and Eddie, if you're listening to this, fucking return. Um,
I'll send it to him. Don't worry. Don't worry. He'll know.
I mean, at this point, Crimson probably has asked him for every season. Um,
I mean, I know, like, he's definitely busy. He's got life,
I know.
but I can push him a little. We'll see how it goes.
I mean, I really thought that he could have returned for season 20. Like, it would have been such a momentous return if he came
Would have.
back of all people.
I don't know. I mean, it's uncertain because he has life. But if I
Mm.
can get him to return, I would love to play another one with him.
We should do like a legend season or something, like an OG season, and just get as many of like the first era icons back that we can.
Oh
And
God, that would be fun.
like, I'm immediately thinking of us, of Notch, like Meg,
JC.
Anubis, Ariana, who else? Taco, if he's allowed back.
I don't know if he would be. It's a good question.
I mean, Snowy was allowed back
That's true.
despite time versus Faves,
Yeah, that's true.
so
Well,
it's possible.
it
But
it really is.
after All Stars, we
Hmm.
have a very big break,
We
exactly
do.
double the amount of seasons, where we go to season 16, where I feel like it probably is like the second strongest overturn cast besides season 20.
Yeah, I would believe that.
Because you've got multiple winners back, multiple like big iconic players, and then maybe not the biggest players from their recent seasons, but they still had a big impact.
Yeah,
So like, I do think this is just a really strong cast.
it was an incredible cast. Like
Yeah.
everyone was playing to win.
And I mean, despite me going earlier than I wanted or expected to, I still had such a blast playing this season because just how much people wanted it and
Oh
kept
yeah,
for it, despite being on the bottom or not always performing the best socially. Um, but
there
we
was.
both are on the villain's tribe, which is not
Uh-huh.
shocking for us.
Oh no, it was expected. Like maybe because of that season, I would have been differently. But season 2 and All Stars, I was just a villain.
I mean, even on Hero versus Villains, I don't even think you should have gotten Hero because you weren't really always a hero.
I think I just got it because of that final move,
Yeah, I
right?
mean,
Like
I personally would have given it to Courtney, but also giving Courtney Hero is like obvious.
yeah,
Like, I don't
kind of
ever
lame.
think she would be a true villain. But we
All right.
start on the villain's tribe,
Yep.
and we lose two immunities in a row, which was not
Yes,
fun.
we do. Yeah,
But
that
also
wasn't my
few
fault.
really easy votes as well.
Yeah, I mean, we had Snowy who like Snowy was doing snowy things. They were
Yes,
just
he was barely there. He really
yeah.
wasn't that active. And
When
so
he was high.
yeah, like it was really easy to vote Snowy. Um, and then you had Bale the following round, which was basically the exact same thing.
Right. Yeah, it was super simple. But Bale in that round possibly did the one thing to absolutely let me slam the game. He told me where two idols were.
He
And
did.
so yeah,
Oh
that
yeah,
is
the Safari thing I forgot.
Yeah, so we had a safari, and there was a path of power or whatever, and a lavish path. And there was a super hard jigsaw puzzle that he just didn't understand. And so me, being the, okay at jigsaw puzzles, I went down the path, got the two idols, and went, "Oh, sorry, man, rats, couldn't find anything, already been taken," and he got voted out.
I mean, I feel like okay is an overstatement, like mediocre at best.
Yeah, I think you're right there. I mean, I think I'm mid, maybe decent. That's the best I can describe it.
We'll talk about jigsaws later with Twisted
Oh, yes, we
Challenge.
will.
Oh my God. Yeah. Because, I mean, Snowy and Bale were like two of the easiest votes, probably,
Uh-huh,
simply because like
100%.
they weren't the most active. They
Mm-hmm.
definitely weren't their original selves from their previous seasons. And even then, Bale flopped All Stars like immensely.
Yeah, yeah.
So I
I think
wasn't
Bale was
necessarily
on the orc
surprised that they
decline
won.
at that point.
I mean,
It
wasn't
was,
who replaced Anubis? Was it Brendan?
I think it was Brendan. Yeah,
Because I know Anubis was on the hero's side and got replaced, which I was really sad about because Anubis really deserved the return, but
it
of
was, it
course,
was
well.
100% Brendan.
But also, like,
Because
when I thought about the villains, I was so certain that Austin would be there. I was so sure.
he
Because I
would
was
have been
like,
voted out too fast.
I mean, yes, but also I was there. I made a
I wouldn't have
really
given
quick
you the time of day.
connection with Breezy and Brendan as well. So, like,
Yeah.
I don't think Austin goes immediately.
I think he goes pretty soon. I don't think he makes a deep run by any means.
I think Austin probably makes it to swap and goes then. Because in
Yeah,
the double, the villains just have to stick together to get heroes out, otherwise we get completely screwed over.
yeah, we would have just destroyed ourselves, which we'll talk about that later because,
It
it happened.
it does happen. The villains very much implode, but
Wonder who caused that. Huh, strange.
yeah, I
Anyways,
know. We make it to episode 3, which, as we have said, is
double
the
tribal.
double. And Jesus Christ, that vote.
Yeah, that's it's a lot of votes. Um,
I actually remember being in the city, VCing with Courtney in the middle of like 1,000
uh-huh.
people walking around, being like, "What the hell do we do?"
So at that tribal, there were a few targets. We had Brendan, who was like the villain who really nobody truly wanted to keep in that much.
Yeah, because
We
Brendan
had,
came from the hero's side, and then literally 5 minutes into the season, swapped
yep.
over due to the safari. So that was funny.
Then we had Nahu, who was targeted by me, and I told all the villains, "Get this guy out of here."
And also, he wasn't that active, if I remember correctly.
He wasn't. He was mostly like just there to fill out the season, I think. But who else? We had Frey, who, by the way, idled there and got 7 votes, saved himself. Great idol.
I mean, it is
And
also Frey, so him being targeted is not surprising at this point.
yeah, yeah, he was kind of asking for it. Like he told the
Like,
heroes,
especially
"Hey,
with the season 11 run, making it so deep again. Like,
yeah,
despite being
he."
as an alt, he still made it deep. But like, he was definitely one of the bigger threats coming into this season.
Yeah. And so then we had Kat, who had just won.
Hmm.
And
Like,
so,
like when it came to keeping Rendon over Cat, we were like, yeah, no, this is an easy choice.
yeah, it was an absolutely free choice. I mean, who even voted Brendan there? What was it? Reed and Kyler? That's all I
Reed, and
remember.
then everyone else did Cat.
Yeah, that sounds about right. It was just not happening. And
I mean,
so,
I'm just glad that it went that way.
oh
Though
yeah,
literally the following two tribals, Stewie and Swiss go.
that was brutal. Stewie going was completely like, I mean, it was sort of expected. Didn't the heroes have a majority? Or was it
uh,
like,
I think it was, but also they had turned on Swiss, like they had
yeah.
basically like imploded anyways.
Yeah, they
Uh,
were they
but
were
also, if I
already
remember
imploded.
correctly, Stewie and Swiss, like I had talked so badly about them to Courtney and throw them under the bus so
Yep.
much.
And so they
That
fought.
probably did not help. And
Oh no,
I
not at all.
also asked Courtney, keep legends safe.
Yes.
Um, and I do think Courtney had like I'm not going to say Courtney actively tried to keep them, but I do think she had that in the back of her head, being like, okay, if I
Yeah.
can, I would prefer that because
Yeah.
also I pushed so hard to legends work with Courtney.
And so, yeah, it was definitely a dynamic of, okay, let's make sure, I mean, on our tribe, let's make sure we win.
Yeah, we were kumbaya. Like
We were,
literally, we were just having fun, chatting. Nothing
yeah,
really was happening. Like this is
I
probably
think,
the point I was the strongest position because I had Brendan and Breezy.
yeah, you had Bren, Breezy, and Ainsley,
And
and
Ainsley, but
Peter.
Ainsley, I wasn't really working with Ainsley. I think more so Peter was I was really
Yeah,
close with
Peter.
at that point. So like you definitely go if you
No,
don't play your idol if we go to tribal.
yeah, I mean, me and Reed, that entire swap were like, holy shit, win the competitions. We cannot lose. If we lose, we're out of here. We're gone. And so,
I mean, I
luckily, the
liked
comp.
Reed and I wanted to work with him, but our schedules were literally the opposite.
Yep.
Like when
That
I was asleep, he was awake. When I was awake, he was asleep. And every single day, I was waiting for a response from him because I wanted to work with him
it
so
just
fucking
didn't
badly,
happen.
and it just was not possible. And I hated it because, like, in the end, we do get opposite sides, and I was like, no.
You were trying. Like
I was
it
doing
was
so much work to try and work with you and with Reed, and it just was not
yeah.
working.
Well, yeah. And so I mean, luckily we never go to tribal. We get a doors thing in one of the competitions where the person we were facing off against we got to talk to. And that's
And
where
able to give advantages.
oh yeah, yeah, we could give advantages to people. And so that's where I met Courtney.
Hmm.
And so me being absolutely the hero, definitely, of that season, Courtney was like, oh dear, I'm about to get voted off. And I said, well, let's think about that. And so I gave her my extra vote. I don't even remember how I got it. It just kind of fell into my hands. I
We
wasn't
got a lot of
complaining.
extra votes that season.
I did, yeah. And so I handed over to Courtney, and Courtney's like, okay, we're allies now. And so, unfortunately, Frey also had an extra vote and
Yeah.
voted out Ben,
Yeah.
which,
Because, no, this was when. So first off, we had the Swiss foe, where a lot of
yeah,
them were used. Then we had the tie with Kyler and Ben, and
yes.
that entire round was literally just myself and Breezy and Frey talking to legends, being like, "What do you need? How can we keep you safe?" etc. etc.
I mean,
Like, I think we
luckily,
gave like at least three extra vote or something
yeah,
between Frey and legends.
you gave Legends 2 and Frey. I think you gave Legends 2 and Frey 2.
Hmm.
And
And then
so
we were able to keep both safe somehow, which was incredible.
it really was. It was a solid run. Somehow they voted Kyler. I don't know how that came into existence,
I
but
know why, because this was also the round where we discovered in the safari that one place where if you go, you gave someone immunity,
oh yes, yes, yes.
and
I do
everyone I
remember that.
think was immune besides Kyler and Ben,
Yep. Hmm.
and
Yeah,
that's the and then it
hilarious.
tied
That
because like
was
literally it was just Legend and Frey versus Courtney and Kyler, and in a tie between them, like
yeah, it
obviously
was
Frey and Legends would then be able to break it and
yep.
in their favor.
And so I think that was also the round where Courtney told me it was the last round of the safari, right?
It was, I think so, because it was the last round um, before merge.
Merge, yeah. And so Courtney told me in that door chat when I gave her the extra vote, she was like, "Okay, I went on this safari route and there was this weird route, and I don't think it's been finished yet. Can you go check it out for me? And so I did, and I also told her, "Oh no, there's nothing. I found an ice cream cone. It does nothing though. I think it's just for fun." We'll get into that later too.
But we merged.
We
Yay!
merged. Hooray!
This is both now our third time making
Yep.
it. My fourth, your third time making it to
Yep.
merge and jury. Um, and I feel like honestly, don't even think that our sides immediately form because I
It
feel
really
like we
didn't.
all just merge and we're just like, let's have fun and talk.
Yeah, we were figuring things out.
Mm.
But I think throughout that entire merge, one thing was very clear. Reed was on the bottom.
Yes, like
He
Reed,
was
due to his not necessarily his activity, but more so just his scheduling, he was
Yep.
not able to make the right bond with the right people at the right
He
time.
was Yeah, he wasn't able to talk. It was just really unfortunate. The only person he was able to talk to
Was
was
you?
me. It was me. And so competition happens. I'm pretty sure I win it.
No, actually, that was when
No.
Pete. No, you win, and I bet that you won because
Yes.
I was
Yes, it was
also
that
in
round.
that round.
Mhm.
That was my
Yeah.
first individual and my only individual immunity that I ever won.
Yeah, it was betting on me winning.
Yes.
Impressive. I remember what that immunity challenge too. It was the bisecting game or whatever. Awful game. Never use it again. I was dying.
Yeah, I mean, I hated it, but I was like, I'm just gonna bet, and I'm gonna put it onto everything
Yep.
on Sam because I was just so certain that you were probably gonna win,
Yeah, it was a great bet.
like knowing
Great
you
bet.
and stuff. Like I
Yeah.
remember we had the jigsaw challenge before this as well, and you just like demolished
And
it. I think this is literally when I learned about the trick as well.
yeah,
Um,
I won it single-handedly, right? Pretty sure.
uh, I don't think single-handedly, but it definitely was carried by you. I think it
Yeah,
was
I
like us,
gave
you that did a lot of the work, and then the rest were there.
yeah. And so tribal happens and everybody's like, "Okay, who are we voting? Reed. Reed.
Yeah, basically.
Reed." And I was sad. Reed was like a close pal of mine, but it was pretty blatant he was going home. And so we get to like 20 minutes before tribal. And so I'm at work and I do like a lot of thinking. I was just by myself in my own little world. I'm like, you know who's really strong in this game?
Legend.
Legends. And
If
so
honestly, if he doesn't get idled out, I think he would probably be the reason that you go out.
yeah, I believe that. I mean, he would have been a strong force against me and just a strong ally to every. I think he like has a really big chance to win the game.
I mean, he has me locked as an ally. He has Breezy locked as an ally. He has Frey locked as an ally. Like,
Who?
and through
Yeah,
that as well. So like, and
it
I
was.
pulled Courtney in through it as well because I was still working with Courtney at that point as well. So
Yeah.
he basically was aligned with everyone
Hmm.
except you, Reed, and Ainsley,
Yes.
and
And
Kyler. But
so
Kyler and Frey were already like working together. So
yeah, and so with my knowledge that I have two idols, or like well three with my ice cream cone that was I'm not telling anyone about yet. Like that was just completely secret by me. And so in the tribal, I tell Reed, hey, what I need you to do is take this idol and play it for yourself. And he's like, what the fuck? Where did this come from? And I'm like, just trust me, play it for yourself, vote legends. And so we get to tribal, and Reed pulls out whatever idol I had at the time, and everyone shits their pants. It
uh,
was pandemonium. Like
I was
everybody's running
at
all
that
over the
point, and
place.
I had a school trip the following day, so I was asleep, and then I woke up, and I just woke up to Legends being gone, and I was like, "Huh? What?"
And so in that tribal, the reason also why we picked legends is because we knew that Frey had an idol. And
You did.
so
Uh,
Frey, thinking he was like big brain super guy, played it on himself. And bang, Legends is gone in an instant.
I mean, that is honestly that probably is like one of the big moves of the season. Like
I
you
think
have
it's
the idol out, you have the me idol out, because if you don't vote me out, I mean, the same thing as in All Stars, I think would have happened.
yeah,
Um,
I do too.
and I think the only other moment would probably be you saving Courtney.
I think almost all of the plays of the season were mostly just from me having idols.
Yes.
And so that round happens, and everybody's like, hold up, how the fuck did Reed get that idol? And so, me trying to get an ally, I go to Brendan. And I'm like, hey, I did that. We can be friends. Yippee! You know what Brendan does?
No.
He tells every single soul.
I mean, honestly, I love Brendan, but what do
I
we
do too.
expect?
I mean, I've known him by far the longest out of anyone on Discord. Like, we used to play Mafia together 6 years ago.
He told me. I remember that.
Yeah, and so it was frustrating to see him turn on me. We got into a big fight later, but
I remember that he
that's
was venting to me about it.
yeah. hmm that was next round. Or no, it might have been this round because I might have went off on him.
It was definitely before I went out that he turned on you.
Yeah,
Because he was still actively like talking to me about that and told me that he like knew you and like for a
yeah,
while, and then I remember him venting to me about it with like the whole situation, you guys fighting, because that's
yeah,
only like the main reason that I got like I was wanting to vote you. Though at the
yeah,
same time, I was like, if you happen to stay, I want to work with you.
yeah. I mean, I remember that, and so I don't didn't Reed win immunity because it was the memes challenge or whatever.
Yeah, he did, and so
Yeah,
it automatically went to your Ainsley, and Ainsley was not a threat, so it went to you.
yeah. It went to me. And so I knew I was on the back foot, and I'm like, shit, I should not have idled Reed. And so I was preparing for the worst. And so I had already had my idol like pre-played on myself. I was telling everyone, no, I don't have an idol. Please, please don't vote me. I was like begging people randomly just for shits and giggles. And so, I mean, I did a lot of like, I think that season for me was my best strategically
Agreed.
when I was like just picking people to vote out, I was thinking so many layers beneath. And so while Brendan socially was probably like my best option, I don't think strategically they were because they
I
wouldn't
think
have been that.
doing me or Breezy was your best shot because
Yeah.
I held myself, Breezy, and Brent together, and so did Breezy. Um,
hmm
and if one of us goes, the other two are sitting ducks to be taken out.
Oh,
And I
yeah.
think it's pretty obvious that like us three were tight at that point as well. Because like we
hmm
never swapped away from each other. We continuously were talking.
Yeah.
Like I think it
It
was
was,
pretty obvious that we were together.
yeah.
Um, so doing myself or Breezy was 100% your best shot.
Yeah. And so that's what I did. I did you.
Mhm.
I I got some revenge for All Stars. We did a
It's
little
very
placement
valid.
swap. And I was pretty happy about that move. And I also that was where I really started to gain Courtney's trust, like to a unbreakable degree, which really helped. I mean, because next round she wins immunity and we have a double tribal.
Wait, that tribal, I remember seeing what happened in the results and then
Yeah.
watching the tribals, and I was like, how? Because at that point, I was like, neither Reed nor Sam have immunity, and they're in
Yep.
two separate ones. Vote them out.
So I think this requires a lot of explaining from me because this was the round where me, Courtney, and Reed did our dirty work. We got our hands bloody and we made sure shit went how we needed it to go. So in my tribal, I was pretty much just safe. We had me, Court Ainsley, which I mean, at that point we were not voting against each other.
Hmm.
And we knew Frey had an extra vote. And so we told Frey, listen, we're going to vote Brendan. If you don't follow us, we're going to be really stinking mad and we're going to vote out Tyler. And so it was basically we were blackmailing Frey to keep me safe so that Kyler would stay. And we were blackmailing Kyler to keep Reed safe to make sure that Frey would stay.
The ironic thing is neither side with you.
Neither. Well, Kyler voted Breezy out for us.
Yeah, but Frey didn't. Frey did vote
Frey
you, and
Frey
only.
voted me and gave me a damn heart attack.
I
And
mean, I was
so
like, Sam is gonna go. He's in a tie. They have to vote him out because at this point, I had no clue how close you and Courtney really were.
yeah,
Um, I knew you guys
and
were
so
close, but I didn't know that close. And I was like, Courtney's gonna take the shot at Sam. She has to.
no, no, no. And so Ainsley and Courtney go, there is not a chance we're keeping Brendan over Sam. And we tell Frey, listen, bud, if you try and take Sam out, you're getting darted in this next elimination. And so, I mean, it was pretty simple. We just 3-0'd Brendan. I was completely safe. Next tribal runs, Breezy goes, and everybody goes, oh shit.
Hmm. I mean, when I joined jury, I was like, no. Because like Breezy and I had gotten so close on the season. Like we
Yeah.
were talking every day despite our time zones and just
Uh-huh.
continuously having so much fun. So like I was a locked vote for Breezy if he made it.
Yeah.
Besides Courtney. Like Courtney was always getting my vote, besides like if Breezy was there.
Uh-huh.
And so seeing Breezy go, I was like, no. Like
I
the
mean,
one Darth Vader gif of being like,
yes.
no, that literally was me.
And I mean, it was pretty poetic that you, Brendan, and Breezy fell back to back to back.
And Legends as
That was
well.
funny.
I
Yeah.
think had you swapped the Kyla and Frey boots, it honestly would have been literally our entire lines going back to back.
Yeah. I
Like it
wouldn't have
was
been
so
complaining. That
close
was
each
that
other.
was my goal.
But
But
we have the last.
yeah. So next vote, it was I want immunity. Nobody was shocked, and they tried to pull a move on Courtney, and so I idled her. It was just really simple,
Well,
and I
you idled
think
her, but you still had the majority because at that
yeah.
point, we still sided with you.
Mhm. And so it was yeah. I mean, I didn't need to idle her. In retrospect, I really shouldn't have because next vote happens. But at the time, it felt like fine.
I mean, I feel
But
like next proves more what your control was that season.
yeah. Oh, next vote was just so brutal. Um, so it was final six. Well, actually, the challenge also proved where I was at because it was a social challenge. And if there's one thing I'm really good at, it's winning challenges that I should not and that I have no
Yeah,
right winning.
about this later.
We'll talk later about that. But I just told everyone but Frey and Peter exactly what to do, and they did it. And so I won immunity again. And at that point, it was me, Court, Ainsley Reed, just chilling. And
However,
so we go, yeah. However, we go into the vote, and I'm like, all right, guys, um, let's split the vote a bit. Court's got an extra vote, so we can do 3 Frey, 2 Peter, and not care about what they do. And we do that, and we see the votes, and there's 3 votes for Courtney. Um, so I go to Ainsley, and I'm like, what the fuck? And she's like, sorry, I can't let you win for free. And we go to Rocks for what was it the first time in Twist Fiber history?
I don't think the first time, but it had not happened in ages.
It had not happened in ages, yes.
I
And
know that
so
I don't think it was the first time, but it definitely had not happened in a recent season.
Yeah. And so it was, I mean, I was safe, Court was safe. And so all we had were 2/3 odds, V. 2/3 odds, and I would have won that season. The Rock comes out of the whatever, and Reed goes home.
Which I mean, it was
I
cool.
I was devastated. I mean, I had worked with Reed for so long prior to that, and he was supposed to be my final two. And it was also scary because at that point we had just lost the majority.
Hmm.
And I really thought that next tribal, no matter what, one of me or Courtney was going home.
Yeah, in my opinion, this is probably the moment that Ainsley just sunk her game.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, she had flipped one too many times,
Mm.
and it was just everyone was had enough of it.
I mean, I don't
And
think he
so,
that, but also she made that move against you and
yeah,
then immediately flips back.
yeah. Well, so next, next round happens, and I win immunity again. I do a little getting up to my record. And so Courtney, by all means, should have gone home there. Like, without a doubt, if anyone is playing to win, then we just vote out Courtney.
I mean, that's in any org if you play with Courtney. If you want to win, vote at
Yeah,
Courtney.
yeah, that's fair. I mean, and at that point, I was still pretty confident I was the only one with a shot against Courtney, and so I also just personally didn't want to vote her. We had
Uh,
grown so close throughout the season,
mm,
and so we push hard on Ainsley. We're like, flip back. Frey might win this season. Do you want me or Court to win this season, or do you want this little rowlet bird guy? And so she flips back. It was really probably like it was nice, and I thank her for it immensely. Strategically, it was probably an awful move.
mhm.
And then we get to Final Four, and I win my record tying immunity. And that kind of made that season for me. That was really what I wanted to do. I wanted to prove I wasn't washed. And so win that, give it to Court, and just vote out Peter.
I mean, Peter's game or like Peter's story that season. It's like, have you've seen the actual season, right?
Yeah,
It literally is just Colby.
it was. Yep.
Like he was there, he did his best,
He
but
did.
he was just not able to do anything.
He wasn't. He was never winning this season. I mean,
He was. I mean,
unfortunately, as it
he would have
was.
gotten like a pity vote or two at max if it was you and Ainsley at final three. But
Yeah.
like he loses against Reed, he loses against Frey. I think he beats Kyler just because I don't think we really respected Kyler's game that season.
Yeah, I don't think he beat I think he beats Brendan, Kyler, Ainsley, and I think
Yeah, that's
that's it.
it. He would need to be in the final three with them, and that was never going to happen.
He really wasn't. And so
Yeah, like
uh
it was, from the jury at that point, I think all of us were like, it's gonna be a Sam or Courtney win. But
yep.
I, from the moment I entered jury, was like, Courtney is winning. Courtney is
Yeah.
winning. If she makes
Uh-huh.
it to the end, she's gonna win. Because I
Uh-huh.
remember literally the entire cast was saying, Courtney is here. Fuck, she has to go. And
Yeah.
every
Uh-huh.
round we were like, we can do it later. And we never did it.
You
And I
little
was like,
shit
okay,
bee.
she's here.
Yeah.
She should win.
Yeah. And so we get to final tribal council. And at that point, I was like, okay, I'm not getting Brendan's vote, and we'll see what happens. And so Courtney gives her speech, I give my speech, and you come in and you're like, Sam, you should lose this game. And so I was doing like my absolute best to answer questions. You even told me I gave like
You
one of the
gave
best answers I
really good
could have.
answers. Really good.
Yeah. And then, so I'm pretty confident at this point that I've either lost or tying. I'm not just dead winning. And then the vote gets read, and I have 0. Not even Reed voted for me. I was like, what the hell?
Yeah, because like literally that entire FTC was just me and Reed fighting in jury chat, being like, "No, Sam should win. No, Courtney should win. No, Sam," and everyone just watching along, going back and forth.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah.
Was, and so I don't understand why he didn't vote for me, but I still got second. Court was like, yeah, I'm never giving Ainsley runner up over him. Thank God. And that was where my Twist Survivor career kind of came to a stop up to this point.
Mm-hmm. Though, hey, maybe in the future we'll be back again.
Maybe. We'll see. We'll see. And
Or
no
when it's our
promises.
election season, something like that.
We'll see. We'll see. It's
But
uncertain, but
during the filming of this season, I
yeah.
had been working on a little something called Twisted Challenge.
Uh-huh.
And Crimson and I had been talking, and I was like, okay, how the hell am I going to do casting? And one of the big things was people not on Hero versus Villains would basically get free tickets to Twisted Challenge. Now, those people barely applied. And so I was like, who's good at challenges?
Who
Sam.
is good at challenges?
And so before I left, I was like, hey, Sam, do you want to do this? Yada, yada, yada. And you were like, yeah, sure, man. I'm not entirely certain. And then you were like, yeah, sure, cast me.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so we move into your next step in your Twitch Fire career,
Yeah. Oh, what a big one we made.
which it's a rocky one, to say the least.
Oh, it's a very rocky one. I mean, it it was definitely interesting. That's about the best way to put it.
I mean, we go into Rise season 1,
Hmm?
and I mean, I think we can all agree, not the strongest cast. It was very lopsided.
It was very.
And even then, I think the format evened it out too much, where
Yeah.
some people were just dragged down completely.
Yeah, some people were dragged down. Oh, we want to
With
talk about that?
when it comes to some people, I am explicitly saying you.
Yeah, like specifically me.
Yeah,
And so,
literally only you.
yeah, we were playing along and I was by all means inactive. I
Yeah,
was
you were not social.
I was not. I mean, I was expecting to just play the challenges. It was the challenge. I had never watched the challenge before this. It was my first experience. And so I win like what, round 2, I think with Neo. And
Uh,
it,
the app games one.
yeah. And so every round people were just sending in the second worst team. And I was like, okay, we can do that. And we get to the third round and Elmo and Zach win. And I log back online and oh shit, I'm in elimination.
Yep, because you were last place, if I'm correct.
No, no, we got picked. We were like third.
Or like yeah, or like second to last, something like that. Like you don't think you were third. Like I don't think you were highly placed.
We weren't second to last. It was like or no, actually, that might have been the one where we were second to last
Yeah,
because
sure.
then next round was the round where we were like decently placed and shit hit the fan. And so you make the challenge full torb flip because you're an asshole. And so
Filter flip is it's a fun game. It's Pokemon, and it literally is how far are you willing to go to waste your day?
yeah. And so me, being me, went really far to waste my day. And I maxed out the game. And I pinged my partner and I'm like, hey, you got a score yet? No response. Hey, you're going to do the comp? No response. Frustrating.
Yeah,
And
and
so
the
I was
thing is,
terrified.
the other team was the exact same thing. Ellie
Yeah,
had gotten a really good score, and their
Max.
partner was gone.
Yeah. And so, luckily, thank God, because you have some semblance of decency,
I have some.
you,
In my black hole that is my chest. I do have a little bit of a heart. Yes,
yeah, a tiny, tiny, tiny one, but you let me and Ellie stay in the game.
because it would
And
not be fair to eliminate either of you if your partner did
no,
check.
it would have been awful. And so then, next round, I am partnered with Spice. And
Yes,
so, yeah, competition was like Wordle or some shit. We got like,
the hell challenge. Never
yeah,
again.
yeah, bad idea. We got top half, and it's a double elimination. And so Elmo and Meredith and Crazy and Karen both get like last and second to last. And Finnegan, a recurring name, is
Yeah,
like,
we'll talk in
hey,
later in 2 seasons.
yeah, yeah. He's like, hey guys, this Sam guy doesn't talk. Let's throw him in. I got thrown in. Wasn't my finest moment. Wasn't very happy about that one. And I was really unhappy until I saw the competition, which was logic puzzles. Now, if there's like a competition I would have to say I'm best at, it's any puzzle you give me. And I was really happy. I was chilling along, and I start to talk to my partner about when they want to do it, and they say, I can't do these. I was dying inside. And so I was trying to talk them through it. I was like, okay, well, it's pretty simple. I'll give you the easier one because we had to do an easy and a hard. And while we were talking, they start the competition. Like they just let the command rip. Just no like, hey, all right, you ready to start it now? Nope, let's go. And so I do the hard one. I get it done in 8 minutes. 50 minutes later, and my partner finally submits.
Yeah, I mean
Yeah.
that challenge was sad to watch, to be honest. I mean, not gonna lie, I was hoping for Meredith and Elmo to win. Because like
Oh yeah.
Crazy and Karen, they were not anything too special at that point.
No.
You were not active. Spice was not active. Um, so like it probably was
Elmo.
for that you got eliminated, but
Yeah.
also like it was not a great elimination for you.
Oh, it was so frustrating because I had beaten everyone on the hardest puzzle, like nobody matched my time, and I still got eliminated. And I think even more frustrating is on my wiki page because that was like still when wikis were getting updated. I got like roasted. And they're like, "Well, Sam, you did a pretty bad job. Like, I don't know. Yeah, you didn't perform as good as expected." And I was like, "What the hell?
You know, I wrote that by the way.
Yeah, I
Um,
hate you for that."
I mean, the thing is, when you get to the like Rise wikis on the Twisted Challenge wiki, which I really need to work on the wiki again, but I'm so
Yeah.
demotivated. Um, like writing stuff about this season is just gonna be so nostalgic because like at this point, it's almost been a year since,
Jesus.
which is insane.
Yeah.
Um, so like thinking back, it was a good season one, but also it was a season one.
It was a
And
season one.
like if you look at any like the following seasons, the production quality is immediately better, the cast's way
Mhm.
stronger, like a lot of the things immediately do get fixed or changed for the better. Um
Yeah.
like if you literally look at the season,
Yeah.
only people like everyone almost no one won challenges besides the people in the top five. Like that's how lopsided it was really.
Yeah,
But you take a break. You don't do
I did.
Cutthroat, All Stars. You didn't get an invite for because you weren't an OG. Um,
Yeah,
and then you return for Play Connect.
I did. I was the first thing I asked you when I wanted to do Play Connect was if it was a solo season B. because
it
I did not.
was.
And you told me yes, and so I went into the season thinking, oh, this is going to be so much fun. I'll be more active. And the first competition, I get paired. I'm in a team.
Yeah, team of four, team of
Yeah,
three,
four
something
or
like that.
three. It was. I think it might have been three.
Yeah, it's teams of three. Yeah, because it was 24 people.
Hmm. And so we lose. We lose the competition, and immediately I'm just like, there's no way I'm ever touching this thing again, because I wasn't really expecting for my first season back, where it was supposed to be solo, to get dragged down again.
Hmm.
Luckily, it was the Donkey Kong round, and so the elimination was between me and Ellie,
The
who,
rivals.
yeah, the same person who on season one we won the Voltorb flip with, and I smoked them.
Hmm. It really
Um,
sucked seeing both Ellie and Mari go that round. Because I
yeah,
was like, I mean, the thing is, it was literally was the only person I wanted to see go that round was Vinny. Like
yeah. Oh
the
my
two
god.
teams that went into elimination, I was just like, fuck, because I didn't want to lose Meg, I didn't want to lose you, I didn't want to lose Mari, I didn't want to lose Ellie or Slay. So it was like, oh fucking hell.
Yeah, it was completely brutal.
Hmm.
And so um I survived. Poor Ellie. That was really sad. And honestly, the rest of the season was kind of just a blur of random rounds.
Basically,
Because
and
I
you win
mean,
each
next
one.
round was the social, well, not even social. Next round was the invite competition.
And then it got changed because people were mad that it was.
Yeah. And then what do you make it? Like some endurance bullshit?
I think so. I think it was like still something social-esque, but yeah,
It yeah.
forgot the exact
I
spelling.
I didn't play the competition. I just remember like giving a flat nope and being like, I really don't want to do this anymore. And so I think we like somehow won. Or
You
like,
didn't, but I think you definitely were in the safe group.
yeah, I was definitely safe. And so I was still kind of unhappy, but at the same time I was picking back like I was starting to get more into it. Jeez, my computer is loud. Um I was having a bit more fun as much as I was still pissed off. And then next round, what was next round? I think next round is where I like really got into it.
Let me
Yeah.
go, 'cause I put it in the format, the order. Doo-ba-doo-ba-doo. So we had Donkey Kong, then we had Dance Dance Revolution. Oh yeah, and that was like the losing
Yeah.
to vote, but you didn't need to be in the vote.
Yep.
Pac-Man was the next one.
Yes, Pac-Man. So the Pac-Man round, I believe, was the first challenge that season where I like actually tried a bit. And I don't think I won. I think I still got safe.
You got safe, yeah.
Yeah, but I was where I was starting to have a bit more fun. It was what? Miko and Slay versus Neo and Adam. I helped vote in Neo, I believe.
Yep.
Yeah,
No, no, it
cuz
was 3 versus 1. It was everyone versus Adam.
yeah. And Adam
And
went
if
home.
Adam lost, he got to drag one of them with him besides Slay,
Yes.
because
Yeah.
Slay won the elimination.
And he dragged Neo, which I'm sort of happy about and sort of sad because I would have loved to have seen Miko go. But we get to next round, and finally, for the love of God, I win a competition.
And it was
And
a really good time to win one.
it was a really good time to win one. And not only that, but I didn't even win the competition. It was the one where the person who was like behind you in the order kept you safe if they won.
Yep. It
It
was
was,
Sing, I think, oh, it was Centipede. Centipede.
yeah, Centipede. It was an awful competition. Like I was baffled by it, but somehow some way I was safe and I won and I got high score points and I was like, woo, good for me. Let's go. And Alien J Haley Oreo went out that round. Weird. It was definitely a weird season. I don't know like most of what happened even.
I mean, when it came to this season, I had like such big ideas, being like every round is gonna be unique. It's gonna be like every round is gonna be like its own format. Same thing like in All Stars, but even more defined. And it's gonna be this huge thing, and everyone's gonna go hard. It's gonna be like so dynamic. And then it became so static because every round, no one was able to do anything strategic.
Yeah, every round was just so different that nobody was like trying.
Hmm.
Everybody just wanted to survive. And so the social game was kind of non-existent until like the final round.
Until the round with the
Like
mercenaries.
yeah, episode 6, right? Where Jessica and Meg got sent in.
Yeah, where Meg gets eliminated and Jess is the only ever person to beat a mercenary.
Which I mean, to be fair, I think out of the mercenary competitions, more than just Jess should have survived there.
Agreed. I mean, I think Meg only lost by like a minute or something.
Yeah,
So had just she been like a little bit quicker, I think Meg wins the season.
I do too. Oh, without because she's good at app games, right?
Yeah, and the finals was really heavy on app games.
Really, really heavy on app games. There's a one type of competition I cannot do for the life of me. It's app games.
Well, it depends on the app game. Some you are
It
really good
does.
at, some you're
Yeah.
horrible at.
Yeah, it's very polarized for me where I'll either win it or completely lose it. And I think that during the purge round, episode 5, that's where I got like super I had my little elimination scare, right?
We were really close to being eliminated.
Yeah. And so luckily I won the third competition because it was a puzzle. Hilarious. And so make it to the final. I mean, there was the high score purge that I won the first round and got like third in the second. Wasn't really nervous about that.
Hmm.
It took out some non-factors like Dom, Ruby, and Slay. None of them were really ever winning the season.
Yeah, I mean, Slay had won 3 eliminations at that point, but I
It
don't
was
he was gonna be able to perform well. Like maybe he gets fifth or fourth and
maybe
beats
he gets
Jen
fourth.
Mitchell, but
Yeah,
like I don't necessarily think that Slay was gonna win. Um,
neither.
but the finals is ran by Jessica, Miko, Vivi, yourself, Mitchell, who also just had returned after a huge break, and
Yeah.
Cage.
Mhm.
Literally
So
all vets, and then you have Vivi and Miko.
yeah, and so I think the one thing that was like most important to me in that finals was my relationship with Mitchell. And so throughout the entire season, we were like super friendly with each other because we had not seen each other in like 2 years. It was this huge reunion for us. And then we both make it to the finals. And so we were having the time of our lives, got completely stomped by Jess, Miko, and Vivi because they can do app games and we cannot.
Mhm.
And so Jess wins the season. We get stomped. Cage just disappears. Poor guy.
Yeah, and
Um,
Cage, he wasn't able to do the finals because of like IRL situation.
yeah.
It
I
sucks,
mean,
but
I think if I do better in the app games, then I easily have a chance to take those finals. But by the time I got done the app game stage, I was just completely like I had given up.
yeah, I mean, in the end, it still was a 1 minute difference between Jessica and Miko winning, which was insane. I don't think
Crazy.
it's
I
ever
don't
been
think
that close.
yeah. And Miko winning this or getting second was so shocking.
Hmm. Like I feel like when I came into that finals, I was like, it's gonna be Jess or Sam win, and then Vivi started doing insanely well, and I was like, oh, Vivi's gonna win. And then Miko came out of
Miko.
nowhere, and I was like, Miko's gonna win.
Yeah, that final was definitely one of my worst performances in Twisted Challenge. I was just not having it.
Hmm. But then we move into the next season, Besties, which I'm not
And
going to
we
go
moved,
into complete detail because a lot happened. Um,
yeah. And we've
and
already been here for
unfortunately,
like an hour and a half.
that as well, but also I've gone over it with Jess and with Finn. So go
Yeah,
and watch those episodes if you want a lot of detail on Besties
for
because we go
real.
into it. But you play it with Mitchell. And
Dude,
I mean, I've been very public about this. I thought you were winning it the entire season.
I did too, V. I really did. I mean, we had the elimination against Scott and Comet, and Scott and Comet and Minty and Bob, where we just won, and there was the big drama. And we had the
Hmm.
elimination versus Zach and Nick versus Emily and Katie versus us, and we won, and there was a lot of drama.
We love jigsaws in this house.
Yeah, I guess we should talk about that a little.
Yeah, I mean, you're
Jigsaw
the reason.
puzzles.
Yeah, you're the reason Jigsaw Planet is gone.
Yeah, I mean, I have I give myself a lot of credit for being the first person to figure out that Jigsaw Planet trick,
Hmm.
and I used it. And I used a variation of it that I'm still not telling you because you're a little shit. And I did it on rotation. And I
It
remember,
was an experience to say the least.
yeah, everyone was just completely baffled. And
Because I watched you do it live too, so I was like, he
mhm,
isn't hacking this or
no,
editing it. I was like, I'm watching him do it live, and I'm just like, how?
yep,
How?
yeah. And so at that point in the season, once I won that competition, I was like, all right, I am either winning this shit or I'm breaking down. And so next round, zero trap quit. Next round was the purge, and that's where I actually like worked with Finn.
Hmm. It's
And
the
that was
first
like,
round that you guys really connected.
yeah, I throughout the entire season I had just been with Jess and Jermu and Marks and Rowe. They were like my homies. I was not really super social that season either, other than with like Mitch. But we get to that point, and I start talking with Finn. I'm like, yo, this dude's pretty cool. And so for the purge competition, it's a puzzle. And I'm like, hey, you need any help, buddy? And he's like, yes, I do. Because he's not the best at puzzles. We'll just leave it at that.
Yeah. To be
I
very
love him.
frank, yes.
Yeah. Hmm. And so I get him through it. And then we get to that final round. Episode 9.
Yeah, I mean, episode 9, I literally remember coming out of class and just everything blew up. And I was
Hmm.
like, holy hell. I mean, I knew Jessica and Jeremy were going into elimination either way.
Yeah.
And you had already been talking about flipping on them because they were your biggest competition.
Yep.
Um,
And
and
so
despite the drama that happened that made them get sent in, they were always going in
pretty
because
much,
you got last place, if I'm correct.
we
Um,
forgot to do the competition.
yeah, even though I gave you like 12 hours more time, but
Yep. Hmm. Completely our fault.
so you go into elimination, and I was like, either it's gonna be Jess and Jermu, and it's gonna be a battle of the Titans, or it's gonna be Marks and Rowe and Sam and
They're
Mitchell.
getting stopped. Yep.
Yes. Um, and so
And
it's Jess
so
and Jermu due to the drama and
Drew
numbers.
and I had a little bit of a fight.
Yeah, I mean, everyone had a little bit of a fight with Jermu at that point, uh,
Yeah.
besides Marks.
Besides
Um,
Marks, who was
but we
having
love
a
Marks.
ball.
Marks, if you're listening, we love you.
Yeah, we love
Um,
you, Marks. And
and so I mean, to be very frank, you literally lose the season by 2 seconds.
yeah, yes,
Because
I did.
like there's 1 second difference between 1 point that Jeremy and Mitchell scored, and there's 1 second difference between a point that you and Jessica score.
Yeah. Um, I mean, going into that competition, there was already a big fight about scheduling
Hmm.
because he wanted to wrap up the season, and we could not. And so we came to the compromise where Jermu and Mitchell would do 3 rounds, and me and Jess would do 3 rounds. Whoever won the most took it. And I wasn't really online for when Mitchell played, and so I came back, and the score was 3-0 against us.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it would literally every round was very close because literally it was like 1-1, and then German
Yeah,
got the second. 1-1, and then German got the second. 1-1, and then literally
Mitchell.
the
Yeah,
stopwatch thing. Mitchell is 1 second off, and he would have scored. And I was like,
yeah.
no, because it was so horrible to see.
It was. I mean, if he takes that, we win. Because then I go to do my rounds with Jess, and the first one I clean sweep 2-0. The second one I 2-1 her, but it isn't really that close because of the checkers. When there was a
Mm.
checkers game that I did in 52 seconds and then repeated because she thought it was fake.
I mean, I thought as well, and I was like, oh Jesus, yeah, no, you didn't.
Yeah, no, I sent a video. That was funny. But
It was incredible.
thanks. I yeah, I'm pretty good at just I mean, I'm good at a lot of things in challenges.
Yeah, we know. But you do lose, and I
Yeah.
mean, I think it probably was the saddest elimination of the season. Like,
Oh, it
to be
was
very
just
frank,
heartbreaking. Yeah.
because I knew. I mean, I think you win easily, or just about lose to Marks and Rowe, because Marks and Rowe destroyed the finals.
Yeah. I mean, either way, we would have gotten second or first, and I would have been
Yes,
super happy with that.
but like
But
you demolished that season. But
yeah.
what you lost, you take back and more in Voyage.
Uh-huh. So coming into Voyage, I was pissed, mad, angry even. And so I went into that season knowing 2 things. 1, gonna try my absolute hardest. 2, not a single person is going to stop me from doing so.
Hmm.
And so first challenge was the battleships puzzle for team captains. And I was like, okay, this is one where I like could throw, and then you said it was a perch. And so what I did
Was
was
not so.
yeah, I did not throw. I went to the puzzle site that I knew was gonna be used, and I did a little bit of practicing, and then I did the real comp, and I beat everyone by 5 minutes.
Hmm. It was insane.
Yeah, yeah. I was not expecting. I thought my time was honestly gonna be second, and then you revealed the results. I went, oh shit, they're in for a treat. And so I was on the season with my good pal Finn. I had started reconnecting with Logan. I was on it with AV, who I hadn't seen in 2 years as well. Ha, who I like was one of my first org allies ever, and a lot of Peter from Heroes versus Villains,
Hmm. Who made his debut finally.
who finally made his debut. Thank God. And I started to draft my team, got a good team going, and then we went to the second round. And what even was the second round competition? Was it
Um, Let
was
me.
it
I've already deleted it, but it was
it
you,
wasn't the
Spec, and Logan win it.
yeah,
That's
but
what I know.
I forgot
Uh,
what the like actual comp was.
Honestly, I try to forget different parts of Voyage.
That's so fair. Oh my god. I
Because
whatever
I
it
mean,
was.
there's not really much to talk about besides you literally win every fucking challenge.
Yeah. I think the
There's
only round with something worth mentioning is round 4.
Yes, I was about to say because like round four, it literally is a round made for people on the bottom to overthrow people on top. And
Yeah.
yet, somehow, the 3 people on top were able to win.
So that round was the social challenge with coins and scrolls. And
Hmm.
so Sand Tricks was the round where we got to get our scrolls and get some power. And I somehow won that too. First place.
So technically, you literally got like 6 daily wins. Technically,
Yeah. Yeah, pretty much. And so I win that, and I get my scroll, and Finn gets his, and Logan gets his. And I'm like, okay, let me pull some magic. And so I go to Aaron V, and I'm like, yo, give me your coins. And he's like, yeah, sure, give me yours. And I'm like, yeah, okay, woo, I'll do that for sure. I did not do that. Then I go to AV, and I'm like, yo, give me coins. And he's like, yeah, sure, woo, give me coins. And I did not do that either. And I finally go to Ha, and he's like, yeah, so I can give you 15. And at that point, I just knew that I was going to win the competition by some margin. I did not expect to get first.
yeah. I mean, when I saw the results, I calculated them multiple times because each time was like a little bit different. I was like, "Oh, fucking hell! Stop changing what you're doing."
Yeah.
And then combined with the scrolls, I kept forgetting to do one. So at one point you were first, and then you got second, and then you got third. I was like, wait a second, I'm doing something wrong here. Let me redo this. And then he got first again by a long shot, and I was like, I did something wrong. Let me redo this again. And then I was like,
Yeah.
holy hell.
And I think even in like before the scrolls, I think I had first too, right?
Um,
Because I
yes,
had,
you already
yeah,
won the first scrolls.
yeah, which that was impressive. That was pretty good. I was happy with that one. But so yeah, me, Finn, and Logan, straight dudes plus Finn, definitely real. We
So
just
straight.
destroyed that season. It
Yeah, I mean,
was,
I think you probably are the most dominant alliance besides top heavy.
yeah. I mean, we were basically the top heavy of that season.
Literally, because like you did have Ha on your side to literally threw himself into elimination for you guys. You
Yeah,
had some alliance from Peter. You had some alliance like allies in AV and Aaron V. Really, your
yeah,
only opposition was Spec.
yeah, and it didn't go too well for Spec.
It did not.
Got
I
thrown
mean,
into
Spec that
elimination.
season had to come off the longest break for
Yeah,
anyone between a season because he had played the original Fresh Meat and then literally I think it was like 8 seasons between that and this
yeah.
one. And
It
so
was it was
honestly,
impressive.
it definitely was. I literally like he almost gets purged episode 1, and I was like, oh god, he's gonna be second boot. I was like so sure, and then he wins the second challenge, and I'm
He
like,
does.
here we go, there he is. And then he started beefing with you, and I was like, there we go,
No.
there he is.
Yeah, if there was one person not to pick a fight with that season, I would
It's back.
say it would be me.
Oh yeah, and also I also wouldn't have a fight with Spec because Spec will eat you.
Yeah, pretty much. It was very much just a battle of the like kingpins.
Hmm.
And so luckily prior to that season with my relationship with Finn and Ha, I mean, so glad to have both of them on that season. They were just really big anchors for me who like kept me confident. And so win the fifth daily challenge, break the record, win every challenge in the season.
Yep. I mean, it is a short season, so it
It is.
probably will never be beaten unless it's another short season, but
Yeah.
it's still incredibly impressive.
I mean, it was funny because I got like what first, third, first.
Yep, literally.
Yeah, yeah. It
Then you
was
guys
that
have
was that
complained
was.
about the advantage you get in the finals, which it basically gets rid of 10 minutes. And by how much did you win again?
You know, by a margin. I don't think I want to say. You know, my lawyer told me not to. Can't say. Probably more than 10 minutes, right? Yeah,
Yeah, it was literally 10 minutes.
it was. Yeah. I mean,
I mean, that entire finals was literally just me watching you, Logan, and Finn be assholes to the other team, trying to get them to give up, not succeeding, and then almost losing to them.
I mean, the finals was just really funny because I went into the house chat and I was like, "Yo, guys, we're finished," and we hadn't even done a single competition yet.
Hmm.
And so it was probably really shitty from me, but I was just having fun with it. I was in my little victory lap. It wasn't great, but it was fun. And so me, Finn, Logan do the challenges. We get done. I was pretty confident with my times. I don't think I lost any of my head to heads, to my knowledge.
Uh, I think you lost one of them. Let me double check. But you definitely did the best out of your team.
Yeah. And luckily, thank God we win. Would have been the most embarrassing loss ever. Don't think I would be here right now if we had lost that.
I mean, had you lost it, I mean, I feel like you probably become like one, the best to never win. But also two, one of the saddest cases in Twisted Org's
Uh,
history.
I might have just left the server on the spot. It's
I would not be
indeterminate to
surprised.
this day, but I would have just been absolutely cut. Um, yeah, thank God we win. And Twisted Challenge is kind of like my home right now for Twisted Orgs. Because I mean, like, Twist Fiverr is cool and all, but if I ever come back, if I don't have another 3 idle season, which I somehow have 2 of, I don't think I'm making it that far.
I mean, with First Fiverr, it really just depends on the cast.
That's true.
Because, like, do I work with you on a return? Yes. Do I take you to Final Two? Fuck no.
No.
Um,
Yeah.
but I think that would be mutual as well. Because,
Yeah,
like,
I
you
think
know,
if
I'm
we
good with
return
words.
together, I think we both make sure each other get to merge.
Hmm. And
And
then
I think,
we see how
yeah,
can we continue.
as soon as we get to merge, I think shit either hits the fan or it's about to hit the fan.
Yeah, either we Courtney ourselves and we get to
Yep.
the end and take the other, and one of us wins, and the other is mad that they lost because they're like,
Mhm.
"Yeah, why did we take the other person?" Or we completely implode and get two sides attack each other, fail, and then make it deep into the game.
Yeah. See, I feel like if we both return together, the 3 scenarios that happen are we make final 2 together, we make a deep run together, but neither of us make final 2, or we are first and second merge boot.
Yeah, probably. Because I feel like I would potentially, you would be like Merch Boot, and I would be like successful and be like, yay, I took out the winner. And then everyone would be like, yeah, no, but now you're the biggest threat. You have to go.
Yeah, right.
And with my comp record into with Fiverr, yeah, I'm not confident.
Yeah. See, you're good at comps. Like, you're not by any means bad, but
I'm just very unlucky.
yeah,
Because like
I don't.
I did one season with you where going against you was just asking to lose.
Yeah.
In season one, I went against Eddie, which is the same thing back then. Um,
Yeah, back then, Eddie, like he's by no means a comp beast, but back then the skill was just so much lower
even
that
mine,
he.
I barely did. Like my English as well, so like any language
Yeah.
comp, not it for me.
Hmm.
And then on All Stars, like the challenges never went in my favor. Like it always got close, but I just never hitting it. So like if I would return, possibly I could win another one. That isn't me betting. Um, but like I would definitely. I feel like if we do return, we probably would align. We just
That
don't
would be
know.
fun as hell too.
Yeah, because like the thing is, our brains have so many bullshit ideas strategically and moves they want to pull off that if we connect combined and connected, we would be unstoppable. The thing is, our brains would not allow to work together because it would be like the other person is gonna double cross us. They're gonna have another bigger match that's gonna take me out.
Oh, it would just be it would always be a game of like rock paper scissors in our heads.
Literally,
And it would be the funniest. It would make for a great season, but
it
oh my
would.
god, it would be hellish.
Honestly, we should do like a Redemption Island thing and be the Russell and Boston Rob
Oh my god.
and just return and be like, "Hi guys, yeah, we hate
Yeah.
each other," and then they make a team
If
with
we
us,
could
and they're like
yeah, if we
besties.
could be captains, yeah. Oh,
But
that would be
yeah, I
great.
mean, we've both had great careers in this. It's not
Yeah,
over
for sure.
yet because we've got Crypt coming
No,
soon and potentially around that. But
potentially.
people will know
No,
in
no
5 days
spoilers.
from this when this is recorded. Um, but yeah,
No
like
spoilers.
no spoilers just yet. I mean, the thing is, depending on when I upload this, cast reveal might have already happened, and people will know if you're on or not. So it depends.
You
Um,
should just tell me then, right?
you'll see,
You
because
should
I'm
spoil it
literally sending
right now.
invites after this.
Oh, wait, what?
Yeah, I'm gonna literally close cast reveal when this finishes and start sending the
Oh,
first invites.
all right. Good to know. So I'm gonna log off now. I think we've had enough of this. I'm getting pretty tired. Oof.
The longest episode besides the one with Jessica. I think Jessica was like slightly longer.
I think we need to keep going then. Let's talk about Voyage some more. It was a really intricate season, you know? A lot of big moves.
I mean, and just like we've done so much in this work,
We
and
have.
despite you not being on production, you've done so much still
I
that
mean, I'd like to think that I'm part of the reason it started. With
definitely.
all the way back to like knowing Crimson, what, 4 years prior to Twist Fiverr beginning, I believe it was.
Oh damn, didn't know that
Yeah.
actually.
Yeah. I mean, we had like met each other way back when I was in like middle school, I think. Something crazy like that. And so finally we got him to play an org with me and Eddie, and it's now evolved into the numerous sections of Twisted we have today.
Which I mean, it's just insane to see.
It is. It's
Like I never
really
expected this when I joined season one,
right.
or even
I
second
mean,
chances or all stars. I did not expect this.
right? Yeah. I mean, it's just grown so big, and I'm so proud of Crimson for like working
Mhm,
through
me
it.
too. I mean, I thought Crimson was crazy hosting 2 seasons at once, and then he
Yeah,
started pushing season by season out continuously, and so many
that's
people kept joining and playing and enjoying them. Like
yeah.
we're gonna be at season 23 soon, which is in production. It's almost
Jesus.
done. Applications are almost opening, but like
Oh my God.
yeah, like we've had a bit of a hiatus now, and then we're gonna go full force again, stronger than ever,
Good
and
luck.
it's hopefully gonna be a great 2024.
Yeah. Hopefully.
And on that note, I think it's the perfect time to end this because we
I
have
think so
gone
too.
longer than with Jessica. So you have now the longest episode of Twisted
Yes.
Talk so far.
Yes, I win the challenge. Woo!
You did. Congrats. But thank you everyone for listening. I will be recording more episodes soon with other people, and a little small project hosted by Kaden is coming soon as well.
Yeah,
Which
wonder what that is.
yeah, which both myself and Sam were a part of. So you'll hear our pretty voices again soon.
Yes,
But
you
thank you
will.
for listening. Bye.
Yeah.